Hello, my name is Jonathan, and this is my entry into the Dave Gatton CNC Christmas Challenge 2016. I decided to just build a simple wall hanging, a decoration, and so I went out on Google and found this picture of some holly, and I imported it into my drawing program. Now, I'm a residential designer by trade, so I actually use a different program for all my drawings and design. So what I did is I imported that and I generated all my 2D line work before I get into VCarve Pro. What I'm planning on doing here is cutting from 1/4 inch MDF. I actually cut a lot of stuff from that for the reason that I built my Sidewinder CNC. And so I decided to just take this block, it's 15.5 by 15.5, and I'm going to cut this from that. So what I've got is I've got two berries here. These two berries will sit on top of the other material. It'll sit here and the other one will sit down here. I have 4 pockets here, 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 and here. I want to be able to accent the full leaf, but I don't want to have it only connect here, so I'm just going to pocket this 1/8 of an inch, and it will get painted black, all these pockets. And then the leaves will be green, and of course the berries will be red. So I generated all this 2D line work inside my drawing program. This will be V-carved, as well as these two over here, and then the rest will all be cut out with the end mill. So when I'm done drawing this, I then output the DWG file and I import it into VCarve Pro, the DWG. And from there, I am then able to generate the tool paths to create my G-code. So I have got several things here. My first one is the edges of the berries. I'm going to use the VCarve bit to just put a little bit of a chamfer on each one of these parts to add a little bit of relief and dimension, a little bit of depth to it. It's only 1/4 inch, so it's not like it's going to be real deep. I also do the same thing with the leaf edges. You'll see that in a minute. And then, of course, the V-carving of the actual veins in the leaves. I then switch to a 1/4 inch end mill, and that end mill I'll pocket these areas here in preparation for cutting out. And then, of course, the berry cutout and the final cutout is this one here. The actual lines aren't in right now, but you can see the line, the tool path. Once I've generated all the code for this, I'll then take it out to the garage where I've got my CNC, and we'll get this cut. Now, for the record, I'm using a 1/2 inch 90-degree V-carve bit, and I'm using a 1/4 inch up spiral end mill for the other work. So let's take it out there and see what we can do on the machine itself. Okay, this is my Dave Gatton Sidewinder CNC. We're out here in the shop. Now what I've done is I've modified it to be wider because I need to fit 4 of these 15.5 inch by 15.5 inch blocks for the project that I normally work on. You'll see that this front block here has a cut in it, so we're going to go ahead and use that for our cut here. Underneath this, I've developed a vacuum table that works really, really well. None of these 1/4 inch pieces have to be actually secured to the table. The vacuum does a job pretty darn well. So what we're going to do is we'll pull up the code here and we'll get our machine running. Now, I normally run with a dust boot on, but in this case I've got to take that off just so we can see some of what's going on here. Okay, so I've got my V-bit in and I've zeroed the thing out. I've got my program started, ready to start, and I'll go ahead and start some cutting and we'll see what we can catch. There's the finished cut. So what we'll do is we'll take this off the table, we'll knock some dust off of it, and then we should be able to pop it through that onion skin that's on the back, and then we'll go ahead and paint it up, and we'll show you what that looks like. And here's the finished product. The pockets were painted black, the leaves are painted green. I have a coat of polyurethane on it, but it looks like I need it one more coat. You can see kind of a bit of splotchy there. But the berries turned out pretty good. And that is my entry into the Gatton CNC Christmas Challenge 2016.